Hey guys, this is going to be our week in review video. So we have deadlifts on Monday. Monday's going to be more of that build style day. So we're trying to do just some strength work without necessarily any conditioning. Although we all know AMRAP sets are kind of like barbell cardio. So I have a rep or two in the tank maybe. So next week we're going to be doing our deload for deadlifts. Our first kind of phase is going to be over after this week. Whatever they do today. So let's say I hit my 12 reps this week. I'm going to add the 10 pounds and then I'm going to use that as my base for next week. Even with the deload, we're still going to adjust the base. We have those hamstring ring curls, which the video is up there. Just make sure athletes are lifting their hips up. Moving on to Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be more of that like training style day. A lot of open prep workouts are coming up this week, so just be ready for that. We have some push press and push jerks with some pause in there as well. So that should really focus on having athletes do that dip. In terms of the dip, okay, just make sure we're pressing our knees out in that dip and not getting like schlumpy in that pause. So I want everyone's chest kind of lifted up into that. That would be a really good goal for that paused work. And then going into the press, push jerks, and then we just have push press, some front squats, super light, box jumps with some biking, and stagger that as needed. They should have like a little bit left in them at the end of that. Like we're not doing an all-out day by any means. For Wednesday, we're just going over some of that shuttle run standard. I would really love to see that shuttle run, burpee, pull-up workouts. Maybe I'm trying to manifest something. I'm not sure. But go over those shuttle run standards, kind of have people work on their footwork, that tagging of the behind the line, not on the line, but behind it, and then getting in some counting. If people want to count to 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or if they want to count 1, 2. I know shuttle runs are very difficult to count. I struggle with that myself. With some sandbag cleans, please make sure they're kind of lapping and wrapping. I don't want anyone else kind of tearing biceps. We want to keep those safe. So just practice that. I left plenty of time for that. If athletes are grabbing heavier bags and they're like just lifting this way, please just like shut them down for that. That would be one of the instances where if someone was doing that. As you guys all know, I don't like to intervene on conditioning pieces unless it's like a safety issue. If someone is like gripping and ripping, please stop them and either get a lighter bag or just kind of go over that movement again with them. In all of this prep work, that is going to be the easiest time that we can kind of go in and fix people's form and technique. So try to do it before, but if they start getting a little bit lazy during the actual movement, shut them down. And then those burpee pull-ups, just finding that nice rhythm with it. And then we have all of our other options for that. Coming into Thursday, we have a little bit more of that LSD work. We have a little bit of skill work in there as well with that lateral lunges. With those, as per usual, just make sure we're sitting those hips back, not letting anything come forward. So then we're kind of like hips back here. Use that inner thigh to help pull us in would be ideal. What else was I going to show you? Oh yeah, the Z press. If athletes are having a hard time kind of keeping their chest lifted throughout that, have them sit on a low box or even a foam roller to help get that full extension here. I don't want anyone like schlumpy and kind of pressing up like this. It's kind of defeating the purpose of it. So scale as needed with all of that. Kettlebell front squats, try not to grab here, but just kind of keep that upper back nice and strong. As in the notes, the farmer carries, I thought about that being outside. However, that's not going to be a thing. They can do the shuttle runs. I know it's supposed to be kind of cold, but man up. And then we have our test day on Friday. So we're going to be repeating 25.1, which I think is kind of exciting because a lot of our athletes have done that fairly recently, aka last year. So finding a nice pace with that, as always, that 3-6-9 is kind of a trap. So breathe, find a rhythm with it, and then just stay up. Use the lunge as rest. And then again, just like with those shuttle runs, watch the line, make sure their foot crosses a line for that extension, down and back with that. And then Saturday, We have our standard tag team. Depending on how athletes are feeling, they can either push that a little bit, make that more of like a proof type day, high intensity, or if they're just there to kind of move and sweat, that would be totally fine as well. As always, if you guys have questions on any of this stuff, please let me know. Other than that, really start stressing some of our stretching and our cool down stuff as the open is coming up. I want to make sure that we are all in tip-top shape. And that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or if there's athletes that have been asking for some stuff. I know I've had a couple requests for some bar muscle up like work, so I'll probably throw that in next week as like some skill work and opportunity to kind of work on that. Until then, see y'all.